Hi guys. All right, we made it to the end of Unit 8, Probability. Let's go ahead and review some of these concepts, and hopefully this will help you in preparing for your test. So let's get into it. For this first problem, I've got, in the word kindness, what are the chances of getting a consonant, and then a vowel, or an S? Okay, so there's like 3 different questions in this one. So a consonant, well, that would be anything that is not a vowel. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see, consonant, and I don't know if I'm spelling that right. A consonant, let's see, what did I say? 6 out of 8, right? Which would reduce down to 3/4, or you could also say like 75%, either one of those. You have a 3 out of 4 chance or 75%. For a vowel, well, that's the other letters. 2 out of 8, which reduces to 1/4, or 25%. You have 25% chance, or 1 out of 4 chance of getting a vowel. And then for the S, well, there's 2 S's, so we also have a 2 out of 8 chance of getting an S, or a 25% chance. Okay? For this next one, I have a bag of marbles. There's 5 red, 7 blue, and 8 green. What is the probability of pulling a red marble? Well, let's see here. If we add them all together, we've got 5 plus 7 is 12 plus 8 is 20. So pulling a red marble, there's 5, so we'd say red out of the total, which would be 5 out of 20, which that reduces to 1/4. You could also say you have, as a decimal would be 25/100ths, or 25%. Using this same data, okay, 5 red, 7 blue, and 8 green, what is the probability of pulling a red or a blue? Well, red or blue out of the total. Well, the total is still 20. But then now we've got 5 red and 7 blue. So 5 plus 7, that gives us 12 out of 20. If we were to reduce this, let's see, 4 goes into both of them. So we could divide by 4, divide by 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So you have a 3/5 chance of pulling a red or a blue. In percent form, well, 5 times 20 gets us to 100, and percents are out of 100, right? So we could do 3 times 20, which gives us 60, or we have a 60% chance of pulling a red or a blue. And then with this next one, what is the probability of pulling a green marble? You don't put it back, and then you pull a red. Okay, so this is a compound event. Okay, it's also dependent, right? Because it is going to depend on us pulling a green and then a red. So the green, that was 8 out of 20. Okay, 8 out of 20 were green. And then if we don't put that back, well, now we have 19 marbles in the bag, and then pulling a red one was 5. Okay, when you are finding compound events, you multiply the probabilities together. In this case, I noticed right away that like 8 out of 20, or even 20 in the 5, those can reduce. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 20 divided by 5 is 4. So now I can do 8 times 1 is 8, and then 4 times 19, that's going to give me 76. So that's kind of a funky number, right? We could reduce that. I know both of them could be divided by 2. That would give me, let's see, divide by 2, divide by 2. That would give me 4 over 38. Well, those can both be divided by 2 again. I'm just working on reducing my fraction right now. That would give me 2 out of 19. Okay, So that would be one option. Oh, and I could have reduced that over here as well. Or if I need to write that as a percent, I can divide my numerator by my denominator, and that would give me approximately like 10.5%. So we have a 10.5% or a 2 out of 19 to pull a green and then pull a red. I have two more problems for you. For this one, a 6-sectioned spinner is spun 200 times. The number 2 is spun 30 times. What is the experimental probability that a 2 was spun? Well, that's 30 out of 200. Okay, these are the actual results. This is how many times we got a 2 out of how many times we tried. Now to reduce this, let's see, I could divide by 10 just by knocking off those zeros, and then that gives me 3/20. Again, if we're going to write it versus like this is in fraction form or percent form, you can either divide the numerator by the denominator and then multiply by 100, or for me, I noticed right away that 20 times 5 gets me to 100, and then 3 times 5 is 15, so that would be 15%. Okay? Now it says, what would the theoretical probability be? Well, if there are 6 options, a 6-sectioned spinner, and 2 is one of them, we would have a 1 out of 6 chance of getting a 2. But now we did 200 tries, right? So I can use a proportion to help me solve, and I can use cross multiplication. That would give me 1 times 200 equals 6x. Divide both sides by 6. So really 200 divided by 6, and that gives me 33.3 repeating. That's how many times we could expect it. So we could say about 33 times is what we would expect. Okay? And this last one, what is the sample space for rolling 2 number cubes? Well, the sample space for the first option, there are 6, and the second one, there are 6. And then you would multiply those together, and that would give you 36. Okay? So, I hope this helps. As always, if you need more support, just let me know. Otherwise, have an awesome day.